Camnet, thank you so much for joining us, and a lovely good afternoon to you all our viewers, and thank you so much for joining us on Camnet TV's Lunchtime Cafe this afternoon, the first day of the month. My name is Joe Smarter. Now, from accusations of abduction to State House communication analyst or specialist Mr. Clayson Hamasaka denying or expressing shock over JJ allegations abductions. This is one of the headlines in the broadsheet, the Daily Mail, this particular Monday. And also to former leader of the opposition or peer faction member of parliament, Honorable Brad Mundubile, being summoned in Solwezi, has been issued a call out. And also, UKA, the United Kwacha Alliance, is currently having a press briefing to 61 billion Kwacha in fake report that has been reported in illicit funds and money laundering. These are some of the stories that we are looking at this particular afternoon. So please brace yourselves for an exciting adventure when it comes to current affairs. And we'll be joined by a democracy advocate. He calls himself democratic advocate, if you like, Mr. Fabian Mutale. He'll be joining us shortly on set. But for now, a lot was happening over the weekend, particularly yesterday, Sunday, obviously. And we take it to a clergyman who is preaching unity, but we want you to listen and watch this particular clip. Then on the other side, obviously, we'll be getting your text messages and your interaction with us on our Facebook. Please utilize our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV. Search for the page, like it, and be sure to leave us a comment. And obviously your submissions on the stories that we are airing. And obviously a lovely good afternoon to Mr. Kings Kasanga and obviously all the viewers that are watching us this particular afternoon. Let's go on that particular clip. When we come back, we'll be getting your submissions. Do stay tuned.
To speak to people, you are reaching out to all of us. You remember what we see is bitterness, hatred. I think this is very sad. When you reach out to people, reach out to them with a lot of sense and wisdom, things that to inspire people. Not things that are going to start dividing people. If it were if it were mano yabu puba sana. Uko tuwa fuma kutali. Jekuti wa fialo wa femairo, because now what you think that kutuwa tontonga nyanukula definitions. I think we have to watch out. Ono mchalo mzambia tuwaliupa na abantu aba mitundu ya lekana uyunika rubale uyunika onde uyumubembo uyumurozi uyuni ni mutonga uyuwa kuisoko uyumubemba ushawadunga mwapana mwafyala abantu kuti wabati uyu mwana nikaonde nango ni rubale alaba kuisa kurubale. Do you understand what you tell people abafyalwa uyuwa ku east no uyumubemba? Usho mubemba nango wawa nango munyanja. So fionde mwina Zambia. So I think that's where we have to look at the Zambia. Bonse aba fiaro kumitundu tokwa bo pa bankashi yako nango ukuko. Bonse tulino kupira kumye fere sala nda kasha ushinanyina pakutaye uminkara no mukashi wako kumbi uko. Monti mwitanga limolini. And that's the unity that we need. This diocese we have the theme of unity. We are praying for unity every day during the Mass. That we may be, that who destroyed by his death on the cross has destroyed things that estrange us from one another. Hatred, revenge, and discord. Any politician who lelanda pasi ya musango efi, kuishiba fiatu yumulwani wachalo yu. Any politician who lelanda if you kupaturula abantu ulanda pamulandu wa mitundu no kulekanya kwa abantu wacho mulwani wa kyalo afuiri okukandwa na bonse abalera ndekira ndelande. I think afuiri okubakanda bwino sana because mwalishi befyo kiwo kupatuluka na abantu nangu kupatulula abantu nangu fyaba abaishwa bwino bantu abakati balekana po muchupa. It's terrible. Bantu kususulafi. Oh, watu susule. Nombo uyu mwana mulimo obujongomu mulimo n'obubembo molo bamu abeshyani. Ishi wilienu mweba politician. Ili akwewe ulela ndefi bipachalo chobe. Nga wamfavya muntu walela ndefi bipachalo chimono omuntu kula ndefi pa life pamobe.
Okay, thank you so much for still joining us now. That was obviously a father from one of the Catholic dioceses preaching peace and condemning politicians, in particular those that like to utter remarks, divisive remarks, if you like, or divisive statements, if you like, cautioning them and obviously preaching matters of peace and unity in the Republic of Zambia. Now, allow me to say good afternoon to Nora Madden, Namakando Kaungola, Isaac Chileshe, Muisisia Imbula, Kings Kasanga, Mr. Tony from within Lusaka, Miss Lulu Luyando. Thank you so much. These are some of our viewers that are locked in right now. Thank you so much for your support. And you can come through, obviously, and give your submission regarding what the clergyman was preaching or talking about in that particular clip. And I would like to find out, would you like hate speech or seditious practices to be non-bailable, to be a non-bailable offense? Those that are bent on uttering remarks that are divisive, should they, when they are charged, should this charge be a non-bailable offense? And obviously, today in the news, look out for court news, where we'll be finding out what happened at the court premises, where we expect Pastor Danny Pule to appear, Honorable Mnia Zulu to also appear, Madam Edith Nawakwi to also appear, and civil rights activist Mr. Bremna Changala to appear in court. So look out for our main news regarding those details. And if time allows, we'll be reaching out to our court reporter, Nelson Zulu, to give us an update in this particular matter, or these matters that have to do with seditious practices. Now, obviously, one of the daily tabloids goes with the headline that has to do with the fake report. Now, we have seen the fake report being released or issued on a number of times, and concerns that have come from members of the public is, are we going to see matters that are highlighted in the FIC report, Financial Intelligence Center report, or the Auditor General's report being followed to the latter? Are we going to see institutions, for example, that are named in the Auditor General's report being taken to task, appearing before court, and subsequently individuals convicted that belong to those public institutions as regards the Auditor General's report? And also for the Financial Intelligence Center report, are we going to see these individuals that have been cited in this report, according to this headline on one of Zambia's daily tabloids? And we are talking about the News Diggers, which reads with the headline, FIC detects 61 billion kwacha in money laundering, illicit financial transfers abroad. Okay, so that's one of the headlines. Then also the Zambia Daily Mail goes with a headline, scheme against Mapani. Now this name obviously resonates with the power utility company, which is ZESCO, and we're talking about the managing director. Yesterday, the UPND, their deputy media director, and a representative from their social and labor committee had a press briefing where they disclosed that there has been a scheme to hound out managing director for ZESCO, Mr. Victor Mapani, or engineer Victor Mapani, from his position. And now the Zambia Daily Mail, the broadsheet, reads with a headline, Scheme against Mapani, UPND reveals vicious plan to hound out Zesco Limited Managing Director. We want to find out from you, do you believe in this particular statement, and particularly it coming from the governing UPND? Let's find out from you. Then also on the broadsheet itself, the Zambia Daily Mail, a mini headline, Hamasaka shocked over links to JJ abduction. Now, Mr. Hamasaka is State House communication specialist, okay? And information has emerged, okay? Information has emerged that three individuals from the state, this is what is on social media, number one, and these reports have emerged. And why I'm talking about Mr. Clayson Hamasaka, it's because he responded on his social media platforms. I don't want to mention the other two individuals that are being accused of having taken part in the abduction, alleged abduction of Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda. I don't want to talk about other individuals that haven't reacted, but information is out there. But let me talk about Mr. Clayson Hamasaka, because he has responded on his Facebook page expressing shock over these allegations. And according to him, he says he has been in the farm, he has been at the farm rather, where he's nursing his ailing mother, and he doesn't know the member of parliament personally. They've never met, and he only heard about this on social media. However, here's the plot twist. The member of parliament hasn't said anything. According to the acting Home Affairs Minister, Honorable Ambrose Lufuma, who is also the Defense Minister, and according to a statement that was issued, the Honorable independent member of parliament for Petauke hasn't said anything. He was interrogated, he didn't say anything. He developed a condition which led him to being admitted to Minor Soko Military Hospital. So where is this information emerging that three individuals have been suspected to have been part of this particular alleged disappearance or abduction that the honorable member was involved in a fortnight ago? So these are the questions that we are asking. And according to a clip again that is making rounds on social media, his lawyer, Leonard Counsel Sakwiwa Scotta, is quoted as saying the honorable member mentioned his abductors. So we await for the honorable member to begin to speak. But we remember, all of us, that a fortnight ago, when the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information and Media, when he visited him together with his counterpart from Home Affairs, when they visited him, the honorable member was said to be in high spirits, and he was talking, and we saw a clip. Members of the media were there. We showed you that clip. So what has changed? So this is a plot twist in this particular story, but not to worry. The Lunchtime Cafe crew will follow this story to the latter, and we'll be giving you information as and when it comes in. So be rest assured that this particular story will reach its conclusive end, and will make sure that you, the viewers, are informed adequately. Okay, let's move on now to another story. We missed that call. Please, you can come through and give us that call. Now, the must goes with the headline, things are getting harder. Government must not let citizens suffer while finding lasting solutions, says Skyde. Now, obviously, those that know Skyde, he is a social commentator, a political analyst, if you like, a governance enthusiast, and he is a social commentator. He comments on various issues, whether it's political, and he is a political enthusiast, let's put it out there. And he observes that things are really hard, and government must not let citizens suffer while finding lasting solutions. Okay, then Another mini headline in blue reads, "Arrogance, power has gone into collective heads." Okay, that's from Laura Mitty. Okay, let's look for another headline. We go to the Daily Nation, obviously, where ECL, former president of the Republic of Zambia, obviously, is quoted as saying, "Tell me what I stole," ECL tells HH. Okay. Okay, then also another headline, HH must declare his assets. That's TIZ, Transparency International. Zambia there they want the president to declare his assets to the nation so that the nation might know how much, how worth the president, what's the net worth of the president at his current position. That's Transparency International Zambia, and being quoted in the Daily Nation. And also ECL telling HH, now ECL, the former president of the Republic of Zambia, telling the current Republican president, President Hakainde Hichilema, to tell him what he stole. So those are some of the headlines, and those are some of the stories you'll be coming to react to, including the clip that we played you earlier, where a clergyman is urging politicians in particular to preach unity, because Zambia has got intermarriages, and we are one Zambia, one nation, obviously one people. But for now, let's go into some of the stories that took place on this particular day that you, the viewer, might have forgotten. But as Camnet, we do not forget. And obviously, we're going back into the past on the 3rd of June. It could be last year, the other year, or that particular year. But let's go into the past and dig out some stories. We'll be right back on the other side. Stay tuned.
For the first time since 1991, expected to hold its general elections without political parties holding public rallies. At a media briefing held in Lusaka, Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Nshindano announced that the commission has suspended political rallies owing to the increase in the number of COVID-19 cases being recorded in the country.
Having duly considered the submissions by the stakeholders, today we have come back with a position following these engagements on what we consider to be the best for the country, citizens, and indeed the conduct of the 12th August 2021 general election. As a commission, we would like to announce that we are in support of this recommendation by the technical committee and has since suspended campaign rallies with immediate effect.
Mr. Nshindano has, however, clarified that political parties will continue with their campaigns, but using other means such as door-to-door campaigns, distribution of flyers, social media, as well as media platforms.
It is campaign rallies that have been suspended, not campaigns. There is a huge difference between the two. Campaigns will continue as provided for in law for the period stipulated before the pause, which is 3 months. Additionally, we have taken this action following the increase in the number of COVID-19 cases in Zambia, and the country has been in a alert state since March 2020.
And Mr. Nshindano has also refuted allegations attributed to him by some sector of the media, where he is quoted of having said the August general election will be postponed due to the increase in the COVID-19 cases.
Issues of elections are a constitutional matter, and no one just wakes up to postpone an election. This issue has been blown out of context, as we were simply advising stakeholders on the seriousness of the pandemic and the risk it poses to elections. Therefore, I would like to advise that the 2021 general election who go ahead as planned, and every well-meaning Zambian must treat the circulating misinformation with the highest contempt. Ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate this point. The only way that elections can be postponed is if a state of emergency is invoked.
And Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Dr. Kennedy Malama, adds that the country recorded 825 new confirmed cases with 4 deaths in the last 24 hours and has pleaded with the public to intensify observing the 5 golden rules.
The country that today, in the last 24 hours, we recorded 825 new cases of COVID-19. We also report 48 new admissions to our facilities, giving us a total of 184 people admitted countrywide. 70% of those are on oxygen. So indeed, we are seeing a situation where the total number of new cases in the last 1 week or so has continued to increase. 3 months ago, we were able to project, and those of you who remember, we warned the country that the third wave is likely to engulf Zambia, informed by the laxity we've seen in this country.
Whether we want to hear it or not, COVID-19 is a killer and is here to stay. But also, people have to exercise their democratic right by voting in the August general elections, while political parties have to sell themselves to the electorate in one way or the other. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Local farmers, commonly known as subsistence farmers, are showcasing their produce at this year's Rufunsa Agriculture Block Show under the theme Inclusive Economic Transformation. Different cooperatives and individual farmers are at hand to showcase their products, and they have thanked government for the increased maize price, and some have this to say on the theme.
Economic transformation. Kutanthauza kuti chitukuko ngati tifuna kuti chitukuko chitike kuno kumalo kwathu kapena mdziko lathu lonse la Zambia. Tizafunika kukhala abantu osankha ayi. Tizafunika kulowesa mwe munthu aliyense, mutundu uliwonse, age iliyonse, whether ni olemala, ni munyamata, ni mphofu, ni nkhalamba, azafunika kuti agwepo kwambiri. Popeza kumbuyo kwa mtengo kanaliko kosikako. So pano mtengo wa chimanga chatu kapena mbewu ya milisi wakwelako apatia mikira kwambiri. Ndiponso chioneka kuti chino chaka this coming season mulimi wambiri azaonjezera mbewu yake ya milisi popeza kuti kamtengo kakwera poyambire pano
vinkhale na phindu ku ulimi watu.
In short, it means digital transform from one level to another. Tinaona kuti mulimi wetu chita umu na mabasket yetu gulisa na mene haya ni ulimi na weve huyo, because tutenga vamsanga digital process na kupanga tiamba kugulisa tipanga business mukupanga mene umutingale mbeko.
Other farmers who are not into maize production have appealed to government to consider buying other products such as soybeans.
The thing that we are sad of is that the government this year is not buying soya. Every time, what I've seen is the price of the government has been the measuring stick for the prices of a private buyer. Every time a private buyer once waits upon the government to announce its floor price, thereafter, that's when the private buyer will adjust himself. Now in this case that the government is not buying soya this year, us who have soya, we are going to be exploited.
Rufunsa District Commissioner Richard Mabena has called on the farmers to take farming as a business.
The new Dawn government, under the perfect leadership of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, want to see farming to run as a business. That's the reason why this year the price of maize has been pegged at 280 kwacha.
Youths who have benefited from the Constituency Development Fund skills training sponsored who were also showcasing what they are learning, have expressed gratitude to government.
On behalf of my youth, I would like to thank the Udon government for introducing this bursary because I'm under CDF in my first year. And I would like to urge all the youths out there to take up this opportunity. These are survival courses.
Agro dealers are also at hand to showcase their products in line with the theme. Reporting in Rufunsa district, I am Msekiwa Ntembe.
Okay, thank you so much for still joining us. Now, those are some of the stories that took place sometime back in the day, or if you like, that was a sneak preview into time. Forgotten stories, that's our segment. In case you have forgotten some of those stories, Camnet TV doesn't forget, and we manage them to bring them to you. And just a quick one, we are saying good afternoon to Kebi Mbewe. Kebi, thank you so much. Long time, my brother. Also, Charles Chivwindi, thank you so much. Mwango Chinene, thank you so much for coming through. Samish Soya, Musonda Boa, Mapenzi Mwene, Godwin Chisunka, thank you so much for tuning in. And now we go to our roving reporter, Nelson Zulu, who is at the court premises right now to give us a court update. Nelson, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Joe. How are you?
I'm fantastic, my brother. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Okay. Nelson, bring us up to speed. That the nation, the media were expecting opposition leader Madam Edith Nawakwi to make an appearance at the court premises today, and also clergyman Dr. Danny Pule, and also civil rights activist Mr. Brebna Changala, including Lumezi independent member of parliament Munia Zulu, to make an appearance at court today. What's the current situation, Nelson?
The current status, Joe, thank you for that question, is that the wait continues because uncertainty has gripped most of those that are found at court, either to ask questions if these people are going to be presented before court or not, fully knowing that it's been about 6 days now that these people were arrested and later on slapped in with fresh charges relating to espionage as well as inciting tribal war. That was after we saw cases of such as hate speech as well as seditious practices being given to the aforementioned. But information that we had gotten had indicated that the five are supposed to be presented before court this afternoon. Now we are waiting if that's going to be the case or not. And the wait continues, but I'm able to confirm to you at the moment that I'm still at Lusaka Magistrate Court, waiting if at all these people can be brought before court, because we know, for instance, that civil rights activist Brebna Changala, as of last week, had applied before the Lusaka High Court for bail pending trial, where he did allude to the fact that it was actually wrong for him to be kept in detention for so long without being taken to court or without being provided with police bond or bail pending trial. So he requested the court that they should provide him with bail pending trial because he's a person of fixed abode. And what we mean by fixed abode is a person that has got a physical residency that people are able to trace him in case of anything. So those are some of the happenings, but we see if in the interest of time, things are going to balance and be able to see the people presented before court.
Okay. What's the word around the court premises, Nelson? Have you got it in touch? For instance, with some of, let's say, the public prosecutors, just to find out if these 5 individuals will be brought to court, because looking at time, this is past 13:30, and you are saying you are still waiting for these individuals to be presented before court. Is it likely that they will be presented before court today, Nelson? From the look of things and from the inquiries that you have made around the court premises.
From the inquiries inquiries, Joe, what I can indicate is that for now it's a 50-50 thing, but the inquiries did confirm that the 5 are likely to be presented before court today, and we're expecting them this afternoon, more precisely at 14 o'clock. So we are waiting for 14. And for now, we shall remain vigilant and hope that one of the two happens, either presented or not presented, because obviously it's also some sort of maybe trying to put the house in order, because look, these are very serious charges that have been leveled against the 5. So maybe also the state might be trying to put in some sort of investigations for them to conclude. But one interesting factor that we also have to know is that among the 5 is outspoken independent Lumezi Member of Parliament, Munia Zulu, who unfortunately, if I'm to put it that way, today is facing again another offense of seditious practice before the Lusaka Magistrate Court, that is Magistrate Trevor Kasanda, who today has guided that tomorrow, without fail, has to be presented before court for this case for him to be answerable, because when the matter came up today, it appeared that the Lumezi Member of Parliament was still in incarceration, but we did see Magistrate Kasanda order that this particular person be brought before court, and obviously this also is a matter that is in relation to some remarks that he had made way back, or let me say last year, where he did indicate that Parliament was going to close simply because alleging that President Hakainde Hichilema was going to step down. But we've seen that this order comes at the time also that the said Member of Parliament is among the 5 that have to be brought before court. So we still await if he's going to be brought tomorrow or if he's going to come today.
Okay. And also for the viewers that are just joining us this particular afternoon, or for those that are not too familiar with this particular case, let's take it from the top and see what these individuals are charged with. Let's begin with civil rights activist Mr. Brebna Changala. Why is he in detention? Why is he in police custody? And why is he expected to appear before court today? What crime did you commit? For those that are not familiar with the cases that these individuals have committed, Nelson, let's start with the civil rights activist Mr. Brebna Changala.
Okay, for civil rights activist Brebna Changala, he was first slapped with the offense of hate speech that is contrary to the laws of Zambia, and later on we saw a fresh charge of espionage also being slapped on Mr. Changala, simply because on allegations that he commented on the alleged abduction of independent Petauke Member of Parliament Emmanuel J.J. Banda, and to some extent those comments or those remarks were actually against the laws of the country. We did see that in the first place he was arrested for hate speech and later on slapped in with a fresh charge of espionage. The case was the same with Lumezi Member of Parliament, Munia Zulu, who was also arrested for similar offences, and they were later on jointly slapped on with these fresh charges, that is espionage. We also saw the same with Mfue Member of Parliament, Irene Mavunga, and all these are comments that are in relation to what they termed, or to what they alleged to the people out there, especially at the time when the Petauke Central Member of Parliament was allegedly missing or allegedly abducted. So was the case. So we still also go to the same with the FDD opposition leader, that is Edith Nawaki, also facing similar charges, simply because she did comment on the matter as well before investigations were concluded by the Zambia police, obviously. And Lumezi, I think I've spoken about Lumezi as well as Mfue Member of Parliament, civil rights activist. Now, when we go to CDP, that is Dr. Danny Pule, the clergyman. Also, it is in connection with hate speech or seditious practices. All those are offenses that have been leveled against these. And now, for him, it was trying to incite tribal war in the country. If people are able to recall some remarks that were made at the time, the United Kwacha Alliance had met at Dunamis Miracle Church Impact, that is a church that the clergyman presides over. There were some remarks there that were made and allegedly in conflict with the law when we talk about inciting tribal war in the country.
Okay, fantastic, Nelson. Nelson, thank you so much. That's our court reporter, Nelson Zulu there. Nelson, please keep us updated as and when information comes in. If it will be before 14 hours before we go, please keep us abreast with what is happening at the court premises. Thank you so much.
Definitely, Joe. We'll be able to update you, as well as another issue or matter of interest would be that of, we did see that on the 9th of April 2024, the Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, conducted a raid where some internet fraud crimes were actually unearthed in Roma area, involving about 72 people, if we're able to recall. And among those that were involved were 23 Chinese nationals, as well as 57 Zambians.
Okay.
So we've seen that this case has also been brought to court, and in the expected turn of event, we've seen that the 22 Chinese nationals that have been brought before court have pleaded guilty to the offenses related to computer manipulation and commonly known to the Zambian people as scams, where you've seen send me this much, your CDF money is out, Impia Shavala and Danafuma, all those such messages. So we await also now the court to pronounce itself on what's the way forward, as we await a statement of facts to be read, and if there's going to be a possible conviction, also we'll be able to update the nation. But this is something that also people can get to be on the lookout for.
Okay, thank you so much, Nelson. Like we said, if anything comes up before 14 hours, please alert us here so that the nation can be informed. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Joanne. Thank you so much for the time.
Okay, you're welcome, Nelson. So that's our roving court reporter there, Nelson Zulu, giving us an update on what is happening right now at the Lusaka Magistrate Court Complex. And be rest assured that if anything comes up before 14 hours, before we can call it a day, Nelson Zulu will be able to update us. And if something comes up after 14 hours, please tune in to our main news at exactly 19:30 hours tonight, so that you don't get to miss out on anything that is currently taking place. But for now, let's go to your messages and find out what you, the viewer, is actually saying out there. Let's have that interaction. We do have Chiaze Kashika Sondoi, who says Nelson Zulu is a good reporter. I definitely agree with you, but Chiaze there, most certainly. Stanley Chongwe comes through and says we want a fair prosecution in Zambia. Why panicking about being named to be part of abductors? Arrest those mentioned and prosecute them simple, so that if they are innocent, they will be proved innocent than what UPND always does, to judge people even before the accused persons have been tried by courts. Okay. Kennedy Mwange comes through and says, I am watching you from Kapirimponshi, Zambia. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. It's good to know that Central Province, Kapiri in particular, is locked in. Bosco Zwau comes through and says, I am watching from Kasempa. Fantastic. All the way from Kasempa. Thank you so much. Kebi Mbewe, following you. Okay. Thank you so much, Kebi, for following us. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, my brother. Charles Chivwindi says, I wish I could meet the clergyman and say thank you, sir, for the message of peace. Please, to those who know him, tell him that his message and leadership are highly appreciated. Now, obviously, Charles is referring to the clip that we played to you earlier of a clergyman who the Father Muma, who obviously was preaching peace and urging politicians in particular to desist from issuing divisive statements bordering on ethnicity. Now, Mwango Chinene comes through and says, I support priest Father Reverend Muma. Yes, I think it should pantu abantu vatu pesha muno. Okay, thank you so much for those messages, and obviously for interacting with us. But for those that missed this particular clip, we'll go on this particular clip, and hopefully when we come back, we'll read some of your messages, and hopefully by that time our guest, who's apparently running late, he'll be here with us to discuss one or two issues before we call it a day. We'll go on that particular clip of our clergyman who is making rounds on social media and who is preaching peace and unity in the land of Zambia. Let's check out this clip. We'll be right back.
Speak to people, you are reaching out to all of us. Remember, what we see is bitterness, hatred. I think this is very sad. When you reach out to people, reach out to them with a lot of sense and wisdom, things that to inspire people. Not things that are going to start dividing people. If it were Hikarirokuna, if it were Hikariroko. Mano yabu puba sana. Uko tuwa fuma kutali. Because now what you think that definitions. I think we have to watch out. Ono mchalo Mzambia twaliupana abantu aba mitundu ya lekana uyunika Lubale, uyunika Onde, uyumubembo, uyumulozi, uyuni ni Mutonga, uyuwa kwisoko, uyumubemba. Ushawadunga mwapana mwafiala abantu. Kuti wabati uyumwana nikaonde nangu ni Lubale, alaba kuisa Lubale. Huh? Do you understand what you tell people abafialwa uyuwa ku east no uyumubemba? Usho mubemba nangu nangu munyanja. So fionze mwina Zambia. So I think that's where we have to look at the Zambia. Bonse abafialwa kumitundu takwaba opa bankashi yako nangu ukuko. Bonse tulino kupira kumbye fere sala nda kashawishi na nyina pakutaye uminkara no mukashi wako kumbi uko. Moti mwitanga limolini. And that's the unity that we need. This diocese, we have the theme of unity. We are praying for unity every day during the Mass. That we may be, that who destroyed by his death on the cross has destroyed things that estrange us from one another. Hatred, revenge, and discord. Any politician who lelanda pasi ya musango efi, kuishiba fiatu yumulwani wachalo oyo. Any politician who lelanda if ya kupaturula abantu ulanda pamulandu wa mitundu no kulekanya kwa abantu washo mulwani wa chalo afuiri okukandwa na bonse abalera ndekira ndelande. I think afuiri okubakanda bwino sana because mwalishi befyo chiwo kupaturukana abantu nangu kupatulula abantu nangu fyaba abayishwa bwino bantu abakati balekana ko muchupa. It's terrible. Pantu kususulafi. Oh, watu susule. Nombo yu mwana, mulimo obujongo mu, mulimo n'obubembo mu, bamu abeshiani. Ishi wilienu, mweba politician. Ili akwewa, ulela ndefi bipachalo chobe. Nga mfavya muntu walela ndefi bipachalo, chimono muntu kula ndefi palaifi pamobe.
Keyword from the clergyman there, it's terrible. I do agree with him as well. And he is preaching unity and peace in the land of Zambia. And we do have a message here from Stanley Chongwe, who comes through and says, too much arbitrary arrests where fairness is not exercised by the UPND leadership, something which is causing others to start asking the same government. But it's unfortunate that anyone who questions the government automatically has committed a crime. Anyway, it's an opinion, but I don't think it's fairly put, Stanley. Okay. Dixon C says, watching you from Kalumbila, Camnet TV is not just another channel for sure. I do agree with you, my brother, 100%. And we continue getting your messages as we continue interacting with you this afternoon. Please come through and leave your message there. Like we said, that the Zambia Daily Mail, the broadsheet, is running with a headline reading "Scheme Against Mapani." Now, the name Mapani is obviously synonymous or resonates with ZESCO, the power utility company. He is the managing director there, and the UPND, the governing party in government, yesterday held a press briefing where they revealed to the public, to the media, that there is a scheme to hound out the MD by some individuals within the corporation. And obviously, details were in our news yesterday, and this is the headline on the broadsheet, the Zambia Daily Mail. Now, we also have State House communication specialist, Mr. Clayson Hamasaka, who has expressed shock over allegations that he is one of the people that has been named in the abduction or alleged abduction or disappearance of Petauke Member of Parliament, Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda. However, in a plot twist, the Honorable Member, according to the press briefing that Home Affairs Acting Minister, Honorable Ambrose Lufuma, who is also the Defense Minister, did indicate that Honorable Banda wasn't talking, and when he was being interrogated or being interviewed, he didn't express himself. He didn't say anything. He later developed a condition that made authorities to take him back to Mainasoko Hospital. So we are asking, where is this talk coming from? And again, in a clip on social media that has gone viral, by the way, the state counsel or state advocate or lawyer, legal counsel representing Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda, Learned Counsel Sakwiwa Scotta, is quoted in that particular video saying that Honorable J.J. Banda named his abductors. Okay. However, the State Council didn't mention names, but there have been 3 names of 3 individuals that have been put there. And I'm talking about Mr. Clayson Hamasaka because for him, he has responded on his social media platform saying that he has been at the farm attending to his ailing mother who is unwell. We wish his mother a quick recovery, sir. Who is unwell. He is looking after her, and he has expressed shock that he has never met the Member of Parliament, and he had no intentions of abducting the Member of Parliament. So this is why we're talking about him, because he has been mentioned, and he has responded in his own capacity as an individual who has been allegedly attached to this alleged abduction. Okay, for the other 2 individuals, we won't talk about them because they haven't responded, and this is a matter that is still out there. Okay, we do have a text message again from Stanley Chongwe. Okay, so okay, Stanley, please, I'm not supporting anybody. I'm just putting facts as they are. Okay, don't convict me. I'm only a messenger. Don't convict me, Stanley. Okay. Okay. Where are my messages? Okay, so, okay. We have Chupalo here. He calls himself Honorable Achilles Chupalo. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Kon Milimo says, that is my true Catholic and Apostolic priest, continue, Father, to guide the nation. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Achilles Chipalo, it seems like he's watching a different TV station and commenting on our page. However, we do appreciate you for coming through. Mishek Lungu says the police are supposed to act on the 3 and investigate while they are inside. Okay, so the 3, he's referring to the 3 that have been mentioned. And I was talking about 1 because 1 has responded on his Facebook page. Thank you so much. Stanley, thank you so much for coming through. Okay, so Stanley comes through and says, we have observed already that if opposition members complain about the shrinking democracy under UPND government, UPND, you call it as just mere opinions, but if it's UPND or anyone affiliated to UPND, automatically it becomes the fact and immediately support. Okay, so that's Stanley. Thank you so much, Stanley Chongwe, for coming through. Okay, Achilles Chipalo. Okay, Achilles Chipalo, clearly you have a wrong Facebook page, or you are watching a different TV station and commenting on this page. However, we do appreciate your support, my brother. Thank you so much for coming through. We do appreciate you. Okay, you can come through and comment before we wrap it up and call it a day. However, thank you so much to all the text messages that came through, and may I say thank you to Samuel Simayumba, okay, Chijika Chitale, thank you so much. James Koza, thank you so much for coming through. Peter Soko as well, Tenford Daka, Daliso Mwale, Dismas Mupeta, Sebastian Hatamba, thank you so much. Jeremiah Kasaro, Roda Zimba, also Brizo Mshili, Muhao Kabuku, Lazarus Ndende, okay, Costa Hamilemba, thank you so much. And who else? Jackson Sianga, thank you so much for coming through. Gilbert Musongo as well. Triwell Hamatanga, thank you so much for coming through. Mike Chose, Vix Mule. Okay, so these are some of the people that came through on our Facebook page to interact with us this particular afternoon. We do appreciate you. Now, it seems like we need to wrap up and call it a day. And we would like to thank you. Unless if there are any other text messages that have come through. Yes. Okay, Francis Nwenya also comes through. Francis, we're giving a credible analysis and we're not siding with anybody. We're saying facts as they are. Statements have been issued by individuals that are involved. Yes, I can talk about Mr. Clayson Hamasaka because he has issued a statement on his Facebook page. The other two that have been mentioned, I won't mention them for fear of being cited because they haven't issued any statement, and these are allegations. They are not facts per se, but if they are proven to be facts, we will still come back here and inform you that these are facts and this is what has obtained on the ground. But for now, I spoke about Mr. Clayson Hamasaka because he issued a statement on his Facebook page to clarify matters as why he's being, why social media, people on social media are saying that he was part of the abductions. Remember, the legal counsel for Honorable J.J. Banda didn't mention names. According to that clip, he only said Honorable J.J. Banda named his abductors. However, according to the minister, acting minister of Home Affairs, in his statement, if you followed his address to the nation, and the statement that we have indicated that Honorable J.J. Banda, when interviewed, he didn't say anything in the presence of his legal counsel. Okay? So we are not withholding any information. We are giving you information as it is, and we do not want to add anything that is not there. Okay, hope that is clear. Quickly, we'll accommodate our guest in the next 2 minutes, because frankly, he's late for the interview. So we'll accommodate him for the next 2 minutes. We'll go on a quick short break to allow our guest to join us and settle down. Please stay tuned.
Akora kansheko adakula chancha mukero kula chekerera ucho mwana nanyi nanga nababutuka uwinge wangu nanga tikasambe nani ingata mwishibe peke nitwipushe bana fia sasa ushe umwana nanyina ingana babutuka uwinge wangu nanga tikasambe nani mwe ipisha ina sheni abo mwikere nabo.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Okay, thank you so much for still joining us on the Lunchtime Cafe. Francis N. Mwenya, be nice, my brother. Don't be mean. Thank you so much anyway for your comment, Francis. We do appreciate you. Stanley Chongwe again comes through and says true. Obviously agreeing with what I was saying earlier. Thank you so much. Now, in an item just received, obviously this will excite Francis, my brother Mwenya. This will excite you. Mr. Levin Goma. Now, Mr. Levin Goma is the political advisor to President Hakainde Hichilema, the incumbent president. And according to the information that we have received, he has reported, number one, Honorable JJ Banda, number two, opposition faction leader for the NDC, Madam Savoy Imboela, and number four, Opposition Petros for Economic Progress, PEP, leader or president, Mr. Sean Tembo, to the police for defamation of character. So I told you, we'll update you as and when we have information regarding this particular matter. It is a developing story after all, so don't worry, we'll keep on informing you. And obviously, if it's not Camnet TV, then it's not authentic. So we'll keep you updated. Don't worry, Francis Mwenya particularly. Mr. Fabian Mutale, good to see you. Welcome. I know you are late. Take a deep breath. We do have two items that we are looking at. Quickly, the issue that has to do with the father, the clip that we played, he's preaching peace and unity in the land of Zambia. You can kindly weigh in, sir.
Yes, like I have always said, the church should be used as a platform for unity. I've always emphasized that never in my lifetime have I ever heard any clergy, be it the priests, the conventional pastors, talk about tribe. My issue here is about public speakers, those that have a privilege to speak to the public using different platforms. We should never entertain anyone talking division, anyone talking ethnicity. I think the priest there is on a theme to advise accordingly.
Okay. Quickly, let me bring you to the issue of Honorable JJ Banda. We have our regular viewer, Abdi Muhammad, who says, police investigation should up their game, get new technology, DNA or fingerprints from his car or phones left behind, watching from Chicago, USA. Thank you so much, Muhammad there. What do you think with his suggestion?
Well, in terms of investigations, that is a very critical aspect of any investigations. We are talking fingerprints. Now look at here. The Department of Forensics, the last time I checked, has been going under a lot of transformation in terms of equipment and all manner of paraphernalia. We need to reach a stage where the police are fully equipped to handle such. However, look at the vehicle right now. At the scene of crime, what happened? Were those things done? The vehicle has moved from point A to point B without probably any of those being done. So it becomes a little bit tricky to, at this point, even talk about fingerprints and everything.
Okay. Straight to the point. Now there have been allegations leveled against 3 individuals. We can now mention 2 because Mr. Levi Ngoma has reported Honorable JJ Banda, Madam Savoy Mboera, and Mr. Sean Tembo to police for defamation of character regarding the same accusations. And also, Mr. Clayson Hamasaka responded on his Facebook page. This is why we're discussing him, because he had responded. But one of my producers has informed me that Mr. Levi Ngoma has reported the matter to the police. How do you look at this matter? These are individuals that have been named, that they were part of the abductees in this particular case.
You know, defamation by definition is any communication that injures a third party. Who is the third party in this case? Those mentioned. So it is now a challenge on the communicator to prove before courts or any legal jurisdiction the allegations. So the injured is in his right to report the matter to the police, because that's the route to go, and the matter will be investigated and the police will take appropriate action. So in all fairness, defamation can also become a criminal matter depending on how the police view it. It may not just end up at compensation. It may not just end up at that. People can actually be incarcerated in prison for criminal defamation.
Okay. And Honorable Brad Mundubile has been issued a call out in Solwezi for hate speech as well. Your take?
I'm dressed deliberately national colors today to emphasize the issue of patriotism as well as responsibility towards our country. This the politicians' outrage as well as public statements bordering on defensive statements are a sorry sight. Mr. Simata, we are coming from a background where in the 90s there was the Lunda Luvale fights in Northwestern Province, and I don't think in this era, 21st century, we can be talking about hate speech. We can be talking about regionalism. I think it is a time politicians put a stop to this. It's always about politicians, and Mr. Munduvere being reported in a far region. I think for me, I'll give a personal opinion. I like to give a personal opinion where I feel the action is not right. Honorable Munduvire resides in Lusaka. He's an MP in Mborokoso, and reporting him in Northwestern Province. I don't know for whose convenience. I don't know for whose convenience, because we are indirectly talking about regions. What Mr. Mundubere did, I don't think it's only people in Northwestern Province that should be aggrieved. There should be people that should be aggrieved, even in Lusaka, even in Porokoso, even in Kasama, even in Lundazi, even in Mongo. Why specifically Northwestern Province? So it's such kind of call-outs to me are also adding to this issue of ethnicity and regionalism. I think it is time the police put a stop to it. Let them say, report the person where they reside from, so that it's nearest to them for convenience to their family members in an event that they are incarcerated or in police custody.
Okay, and as we begin to wind up, making use of the time that has been given to us by my director, 5 individuals are supposed to appear before court today. What are your expectations? We're talking about FDD leader, Madam Edith Nawakwi, civil rights activist, Mr. Brahim Nachangala, Honorable Mabonga, Mfue MP, and obviously Honorable Munia Zulu as well. What are your expectations?
Well, these people have been in incarceration, and I hope they will apply for bail, because this is their human right, as well as a condition that they has been given in relation to their charge. That is, if bail is applicable. However, the charge with which they are charged, they have been given, is a charge that to me it should open eyes for any other politician going forward, because we want to reach a stage where politicians do not in any way use public sympathy to gain popularity.
Okay, and your concluding remarks. Home Affairs issued a statement. I'm sure you saw the address to the nation by the acting Home Affairs Minister, Honorable Ambrose Lufuma, where you talked about honorable member for Petoke Central not speaking, and when he was booked to be detained, he developed a condition that made the authorities to take him back to Minor Soko Military Hospital, where he is admitted even as we speak right now. Your quick take.
That is why I said at one platform that when the hospital authorities talked about bringing in a psychiatric expert to assess the condition of Honorable the JJ Banda, people misconstrued that to mean maybe Honorable Banda is not in his right frame of mind. Look here, the medical experts understand the trauma that goes with abduction or any other issue that one goes through. So the assessment is purely to ascertain one's condition or frame of mind arising from the experience they have gone to. Who knows? The reason he might not have spoken to the police, maybe he's still in a sense of trauma. So let
he needs to recuperate.
Yes. He needs to really come back to his senses after going through what he went through. And yet again, look, the reason for which he was again taken to the police, we are being told the investigations regarding the alleged abduction are going on. However, there are charges that were, the cases that were done or offenses that were done as well as 2016. So maybe my Mbuya could have realized to say, apa, let me go and reflect in form of a sickness. However, I'm not trying to trivialize his condition of health. I pass that as a joke. But seriously speaking, we need to give him time to recuperate after going through the alleged abduction. Okay,
thank you so much, Mr. Fabian Mutale. Thank you so much for making it to the lunchtime cafe this particular afternoon. We give opportunities to everyone, and we've given you an opportunity, though you've come late. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, Joe. Next time I'll be earlier than 2 hours before, so that we can speak for 3 hours. There are a lot of matters we need to touch on.
Fantastic.
Especially on the opposition platform right now, where I feel I can advise them on how best they can unseat the current government if they need to unseat them, and how best they can provide the proper checks and balances that will benefit the Zambians.
You do have a strategy to unseat the incumbent political party.
I can offer proper checks and balances to the current government.
Okay, please, marketing department will charge you for advertising your consultancy, political consultancy services on the lunchtime cafe. A charge is coming your way. However, thank you so much, Mr. Mutale. On that lighter note, ending it on a lighter note, thank you so much To my director, Mr. Isaac Chufita, thank you so much, sir. We do appreciate you. And thank you, the viewer out there, for having tuned in. We welcome all the opinions and all the submissions. Thank you so much. Mr. Chongwe, thank you so much for being consistent. And Francis as well, thank you so much, my fellow choir master, like you put it. We'll see you next time when you see us. I have been your host, Joe Smarter is my name. Good afternoon, and God bless.